What's up, Mansoor? What's up, Ernest, Al, Kieran? All right, guys, I'm awake. Sorry. Ugh, I gotta wake up. I didn't get enough sleep, I don't think. Honestly, I noticed like if I wake up in the morning at like if I wake up an hour before I'm supposed to wake up and then I go back to sleep and then I wake up again, I feel like crap, man. I feel terrible, which was today. Uh if I just sleep and then get up whenever I get up, I feel much better. Regardless of how much sleep I get, which is something I'm gonna have to start doing. What's up, Paul, Dan, Ernest, Kevin, Man, Al, James, Mac? What's up, team? Good morning, guys. All right, so we got Boeing earnings today. Uh, all right, but we're up. Tesla at 161s right now. We ended up dip by at Disney. We're still in Disney right now. Microsoft just a crazy, ridiculous earnings stream yesterday that we covered. Flying up at 297s, hit 300s yesterday in extended hours. SPY at 407s right now. We can look at like FRC, another relevant stock to all the craziness is FRC at 840s right now. All right, guys. We're gonna get some music playing in a second. Bear with me. Hold on. All right. Let me get this going. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we got Boeing today, guys. There we go. Yeah, Google honestly, Google and Microsoft did save the market yesterday. The, FRC was absolutely tanking the market, but for whatever reason, we just survived because of good Google, good Microsoft earnings. But you can see FRC absolutely destroyed the market prior to that, though. Spy's still doing all right. You know, the Spy's still at FRC down to 830s, man. This thing dropped 50% yesterday. Spy's still at 407s, and so it could be worse. Um, what's up, David? What's up, Bonk? Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, Hilton earnings came out. Um, EPS of 124 versus 113 estimate sales of 2.29 billion versus 2.2 billion estimates. So higher than expected EPS and sales for Hilton. Maybe that'll give some info or give us some understanding into what hospitality is doing, the entire sector of hospitality. Uh, it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, guys. Short Nvidia. Honestly, man, I think Nvidia's. I'm right there with you, brother. I think Nvidia's too high. Um, I think Nvidia's too high, man. The Astros, though. All right, guys. So what's up, Abdullah P9? I'm buying FRC today. Hey, good luck, bro. Just remember, there's risk that comes with that, man. Like you can buy it, but there's risk that comes with that, dude. Like there is a chance that FRC fails. There is a chance that the government just kind of hands off it. In my opinion, there's a chance. I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I think that it'll probably be fine. But to be honest, buying that up right now, that's the risk. Uh, you know. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm looking at somebody. All right, guys. Sorry. Somebody said, "I couldn't believe the dip by Microsoft was in around 4:30 yesterday. It felt like a guarantee the stock would rise after the call. Sometimes stock experts be dumb." What do we say to that? My only response is I certainly didn't tell you to buy that thing. If we do, this channel probably doesn't have a catchphrase, but if we did, it would be we're not experts. Okay. So you don't copy the channel that says that's catchphrase says that they're not experts and, then get mad if it doesn't go in your way. Um, Is AI the sentiment today? Honestly, after the Microsoft earnings report, All right, guys. What's TTV? No such thing as a sure thing unless you're. What's that beach? What's that trading? Oh, I see. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Well, Amazon earnings aren't today, past. So Amazon earnings are tomorrow. So Amazon Meta earnings are today, though. That'll be interesting for sure. Today we do have Meta earnings. FRC at 8:30. What's up, Tony? What's up, Tony? All right, guys. Let me put some music on here for you. What's up, Ace? Who? Who's Tony? What's up, Martin? Honestly, if he snorted Microsoft at 298s, he's a brave man, dude. I'm not doing that. All right, hey, somebody explain to me what's going on with MMTLP or whatever it is, right? Somebody please explain to me what's going on there. I'm like, what's going on there? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what's going on there in that way? I see there's some drama and all that stuff going on, but like, what's actually going on there? I don't know. Yeah, I see his logic, but there's risk. Jeez, man, what happens, bro? Like, mm, Y'all can hear the music, right? Will FRCC abound sometime in the future? Dude, I have no idea, man. Did you see them making a GameStop movie with Seth Rogen, Pete Davidson, and Paul Dano as the... Are they really? BA earnings out yet? No, they don't come out until 7:30. Bed Bath & Beyond delisting notice. How about that thing, though, man? What a crazy market. All right, guys. So yeah, look at Microsoft here. Part of me wants to buy the dip. Part of me wants to short the bounce. So I think I'll just do nothing here. What do you guys think? What are y'all doing? All right, guys. So yeah, Tesla down to 161. Should I buy the dip again? I ended up buying the dip yesterday and then selling, and now I'm just kind of sitting here. Only focus on one stop today away from my desktop. Hey, good luck, bro. I'm leaning bearish this morning. I don't know, man. Yesterday was a pretty bearish day. I'm leaning bullish. I'll probably start buying stuff up, and I did buy Disney yesterday. So I bought Disney yesterday. I'm green on that trade. I might start buying some more stuff too. It just depends on what we get. If we look at like the SPY specifically here, here's Microsoft in the middle. Here's the SPY right here. But it's all pretty red still from yesterday. So if I do have a bias, it's on the long side. Again, I don't know if that's what we're gonna do, but again, if I do have a bias, it's on the long side. Did you say rates are already cooked? Given the M2 money supply is getting hammered down. I don't know. We'll figure out in about in exactly a week from now, we have the rate hike decision. So again, we'll see. I think interest rates are far too high right now. As a real estate agent, I certainly, it's kind of a problem, to be honest. Like, I don't need to sell homes. And so I have a very unique situation where it's like, I really don't have to sell houses. Like, again, I got my real estate license kind of for fun. Again, I said this yesterday. I have ADHD. And so, like, if you don't understand people with ADHD, people who really have it, there's a lot of people who don't actually have it, who are just kind of saying they have it to explain them just not doing much. I think that's certainly true. But if you actually do have it, you understand, like, people with ADHD, the driving factor of what they're interested in has to do with their dopamine system, right? So generally, people with ADHD will go after what releases the most dopamine in their brain, which means that like a lot of the time, people with ADHD will have a lot of different hobbies, but they won't follow through with them very much, because again, they'll become obsessed with the specific subject, and then as the dopamine level lowers in their brain regarding that specific subject, then they'll just kind of move on to something else, right? And if you and again, I'm a prime example of that, okay? Because over the last 5 years, I taught myself how to program. I learned about the stock market. I got my real estate license. It varies, and at this point in time, again, I don't need to do any of that stuff. Honestly, when I learned programming, I didn't need to learn it. It's not like I had to learn programming. Like at this point, again, YouTube channel makes very good money, well over, the median income in the United States. And so I certainly don't need to do any of this stuff. But, again, with people with ADHD, there's a good guy on social media. His name's Connor DeWolf. I don't know him personally, but he's got some good explanation videos regarding ADHD. And so if you have ADHD, check him out. It'll kind of explain a lot of stuff. It made perfect sense, to be honest. But yeah, again, that's kind of how it goes. And so, but regardless, now that I've gone into a completely irrelevant rant about something insignificant to what I was originally talking about, the real estate market's tough right now. The real estate market is really tough. The reason it's tough is because to get a mortgage right now, the interest rate is like 7%. Super high. Very difficult to sell, in all honesty. When I first entered the real estate market in 2016, 2017, interest rate was like 3.5%, right? So it has basically doubled. And it's basically doubled in the last couple years, really. And so the rates have gone up. It's a weird situation where one of the hard sells of real estate has been, hey, if you buy the house, you'll pay less for your mortgage and you'll actually own it, right? That's been a pretty, consistent sell for real estate over the last 30 years. At this point in time, that's not really true anymore. Like you get a mortgage, you're probably gonna be paying more than you're gonna be paying for rent right now. And so a lot of people that would be buying their home to avoid paying high rent don't have that opportunity anymore because again, they're going to be paying more for a mortgage than they are for rent right now. The only thing that's really doing okay is like Airbnb stuff. And yeah, it's just an interesting market. A lot of people are renting right now, waiting for, at least according to my broker head, like a lot of people are renting right now, waiting for interest rates to drop. And we don't know if they're going to drop. We really don't know. So yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. But look at FRC dump right now, guys. FRC down to 806 early in the morning, down to 8. Super early here. A lot of people can't even trade right now. Just tapped $8 a share, and this is going to have a negative effect on markets too. Yeah, I don't know what kind of song this is. My apologies. I'm going to change this. There we go. But to go back to the ADHD rant, the ADHD has actually been very helpful in regards to like my overall life, because what it drives me to do is do stuff that I'm interested in. Like I became interested in the stock market probably because of that. And it became a big passion of mine that ultimately drove me to create this channel and all that stuff, because I kind of went where, the dopamine drove me with ADHD. So it kind of worked out a little bit, but and my son has it as well. I've talked about this before. My son certainly has it. For that reason, we can't really let him play video games a ton. Look at FRC down to $8, down to $8. Let's see if the market, there should be a negative effect on the market there should be a positive correlation with FRC and the SPY, meaning like if FRC drops, the SPY should drop as well, just because of overall fears in terms of banking problems. Yeah, like I told somebody earlier said they were buying FRC. What I said was like, you could do that and it might work out for you. You just got to understand there's also a chance that this thing does not get bailed out and just crashes down. Certainly possible. Man sold her house to go rent somewhere while prices are high and looking to buy back in a few years. Yeah, that's probably a good move, Pawn, in my opinion. Like a lot of people, look at FRC just broke under $8 here. Under $8 a share for FRC, just tanked. Wow. Look at that drop, 790s at this point, dragging the market down with it. Early in the morning too, man. Wow. That's crazy. All right, down to 780s, guys. Down to 790s. Early in pre-market, FRC breaking lows, dragging the market down. Y'all be careful. This could have a negative effect on everything in terms of the market. So again, y'all be very, very careful here. Yeah, I'm not messing with FRC right now. Oh, no, I cut BB. I cut FRC. Look, I'll even show you the trades. I'll put the trades up on FRC. But yeah, just to show you, like, I've been out of this thing. Look, I'll put a 5-minute chart up. Yeah, so again, as I told you guys yesterday, I bought the dip, sold on the bounce, and then had like a little bitty position left. So again, it ended up getting out. Look at this. So again, people who are trying to say I lost so much money on FRC yesterday, I really didn't. Like, look, number one, I got out. I was holding 10 shares. Like I told you guys, I never lie. I try not to lie. I don't think I lie. You know, I can't. Sometimes I might be mistaken, but I don't intentionally lie about any of the positions. I told you guys exactly what I did yesterday, which is that I bought the dip, sold on the rip, and then I held 10 shares through the big drop, but I ended up selling it yesterday in pre-market yesterday before this crazy cataclysmic drop that we got in. And so I actually avoided this entire mess. I was able to get out and position myself to where if I did lose money, it was pretty close to break even as a whole on the trade. And again, it's pretty easy to show the trades. Again, I'm flat in this. I'm not holding anything in FRC now. I'm completely flat. Again, I just understand the risks there, which is what I was telling people yesterday. Just be careful here, guys. This thing just dumped a lot of risk here. So yeah, y'all just be careful. Down to 790s right now. Hey, well, thank you, Gabby. At least you say my channel's better. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be able to compete with the networks, but I'm just one guy here. You know what I mean? So it's like Trader TV's great and all. They've got a lot of huge traders, but they're like a group of what, like 5+ traders. It's just little old me here, you know? And I think for little old me, this channel does pretty well relative to the big networks. Yeah, I'm not going to take a go down with the ship scenario. We are getting a bounce on the SPY here, but again, you can kind of see the positive correlation with FRC and the market right now. FRC bounces, SPY bounces. Just be careful, guys. Again, there's a lot of risk here. Just be careful. Here in Arizona, mortgages say the same as renting. Yeah, maybe there. I don't know. I've been adding long till the closure. The skyrocket sold more than half of the market. Now let's see what happens with Facebook. Yeah, Meta earnings today. Big earnings week still. Today we got Meta, Intel earnings. Tomorrow we have Amazon, Snapchat. New media. Yeah, well, this is the future of media here. And I mean, we're small, but like my small channel averages like 200 to 300,000 views a month. You know what I mean? So it's like still like we're doing okay. We get millions of views a year, and yeah. And so again, if I overinflated the channel where I had all these different people working for me and all these different team members and all this stuff, sure. But it's just little old me, you know. So I'm content with whatever we get. Yeah, y'all be careful. It's testing lows again. It's down to 782. 782 is the previous low here, guys. Let's see if it actually holds there. Just be careful. Just cracked under the lows again, under 780s. Down to 780s for FRC. Still breaking down here in this morning. $770s now for FRC. Again, dumpster fire. The SPY's still holding up fairly well relative to all this stuff. What I'm looking for is a dip in banking as a whole. So we're looking at JP Morgan, but I think a lot of these have already rebounded back up. Yeah, so like JP Morgan already bounced back earlier in March, or earlier in April. Bank of America. Bank of America is looking a little bit better. Wells Fargo. Again, I'm going to buy up some Bank of America probably once I can in about 12 minutes once trading is unlocked. Let me know what you guys think. But that's the plan right now. Credit Suisse just moves price target on FRC to 11 from 130. Crazy. That's a huge move, yeah. Lately, I'm very happy to follow your channel. Very helpful. Thank you, Pass. I appreciate it, man. We do our best, bro. Let's do a poll here. I don't think we've done a poll yet today, guys. So I think there's only one poll we can really do here. Yeah, Lewis, that's actually something I'm working on, bro. So I've got a mortgage friend of mine that we're thinking about doing a podcast in that regard. I'm also working on a couple different businesses that Pawn knows about. Some of the people helping us with them are a little bit slow, but yeah, we're working on. I got a couple things that I'm working on right now. But yeah, well, FRC bounced back over 850 today. Vote on the poll. Well, FRC bounced back over 850 today. Let me know. We also have Boeing earnings today, guys. We do have Boeing earnings today. Remember, Boeing earnings today. So again, let's see what we get here, team. What? I don't know how to interpret your comment, UD. I don't know if you're like a troll or like what you're doing here. Yeah, dude. Oh, I don't even know how to interpret that comment, man. Oh, now I know. I said the guy's kind of slow. Not slow like that. Like he's slow to get back. Like he's taking too long. Not slow in that regard, you know. I didn't mean it like that. Sheesh. Dude, what is the song? Dylan Sits, bro. You had some great music. Now it's all crazy. Yeah, okay, now I see. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, bro. Again, Will FRC bounce back more today, guys? I really don't know here. It's an interesting thing right now. We'll see if we get a bounce back. But a lot of drops happening. Yeah, Meta dropping earnings today. Boeing dropping their earnings as well. Boeing, we still got about 40 minutes until their numbers come out. Again, FRC's dragging the market, though. This is the interesting part of it. All right, FRC broke lows again, down to 759s right now, 759s. So another low break for FRC Bank. Whew. Let's see what happens here, man. This is kind of a crazy time. All right, guys, FRC at 750s here. SPY at 407s. FRC down to 730s here, man. Wow. Whew, man, this is a problem, guys. It's a problem, not for me. I mean, I'm not in FRC, of course, but like, it's a problem for markets. $720s just tapped for FRC, dragging the market down to break lows here, bouncing back up to 740s here. Again, y'all be careful. Buying FRC, there's some risks here. As we said earlier this morning, there's some risks in buying FRC. This thing is just tanking down. All right, it's 7:30, 7:40. SPY just tapped lows at 406.50s here. Whew, market's in turmoil. Yeah, we got durable good orders too. Why don't you use IB? You can trade from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. because I don't really need to trade super early, to be honest. Like, I really don't. Like, most of the time, like, there might be a 45-minute window in the morning where I sit down at my computer and I can't trade. It's not worth it to pay all those commissions to me. Again, like, when I day trade, I'm usually doing it on Top Step, but I'm also doing it on TOS. But most of the time on TOS, I'm swing trading as well. So, like, paying 10% plus in commissions is just not what I feel like doing. Logan Paul spent $623,000 on an NFT that is worth $10 today. FRC back down to lows at 720. 720. Wow. Yeah, all good. What's up, Johnny Trader? D-Dog stock, Datadog. It's just not really one of those stocks I know super well. FRC is a 0. Yeah, there's certainly risk. I'm not touching FRC, of course. Like, I'm not messing with that thing at all, man. There's just too much risk in there, dude. Again, I just do not want to touch that thing right now, man. Again, just way too much risk for me personally. Just way too much risk. Now, maybe it does something. Again, I don't know. But yeah, not really something I want to mess with today. All right, guys. FRC at 720s here, guys. 720s for FRC. We got the SPY back down there. Testing lows at 720 again. Wow. This has got to be the funniest interaction ever. Oh, dude. All right, so we did get a bounce in the SPY here. Let's see if it's news driven, honestly. It is now 6 a.m. Mortgage numbers came out. 30-year mortgage rate came in at 6.5%. Whew. Mortgage rates came in at 6.5% today, guys. That is crazy high, man. Higher than last time. Previous was 6.43%. Almost a 7% mortgage. Look at that number right there, man. That's high. Yeah, FRC testing lows. Y'all be careful. What's up, Hammer? Not confident in Meta despite Microsoft. I don't know if it depends on what Meta does, man. If Meta focuses on their social medias, sure, they could have a good earnings report. If they focus on the metaverse, Meta is in trouble, you know. Binance has made the difficult decision to exercise its right to terminate the purchase agreement with Voyager. Well, that's the second time in a row they did that to a big company. All right, guys, pulling back down here again, looking for news. Mortgage rates are up, guys. Mortgage rates are up again. Came in at we had CME Group drop EPS of 242 versus expected 238. American Tower Company put in FFO of 254 versus 242 expected. The UK CMA says it prevented Microsoft proposed purchase of Activision over concerns deal would alter future of fast-growing cloud gaming market. But yeah, you can see the CME Group numbers here. We'll put them up in the comment section. So what does that mean? The average 30-year mortgage is 6.5%. Like, look, I'll show you. Okay, so here's the difference, right? So we look at a mortgage calculator, okay? Now let's put the interest rate at what it was when we first started trading, or when we first got my real estate license. Again, 3.5% interest rate, roughly what it was. You get an FHA loan for 3.5%, right? So in that situation, say you're buying what, a $300,000 house. Let's make it a little bit reasonable. Right, you're buying a $300,000 house. It's a 30-year mortgage. You put down 20%. You know, if you do all that stuff, right? You do all this stuff, and you're going to be paying roughly $1,300 a month, right? So you're going to be paying roughly $1,300 a month. Now, for the same loan, same amount, same price, same down payment, but you bump it up to what the current rate is. 6.5%, you're going to be paying an extra $500 to $600 a month with this new interest rate. Really, it's closer to 6.8% or 7% is what we'll call it. You're going to be paying far more money now, about 30 to 40% more each month over the life of that mortgage. Okay, so if it's 30 years here, right? So you're be paying about $500 more per month. Right, so let's calculate that, how much that's going to be over the life of your mortgage here. So $500 extra dollars a month times 12 is about $6,000 extra dollars a year times 30. You're going to be paying an extra almost $200,000 on that $300,000 home. So you're going to be paying over 50% of the price of that home more than you would be paying at the lower interest rates. And so again, interest rates going up is not good. It's not good for home buying. It's not good for anybody. It makes it a lot more difficult to buy stuff up. And yeah, it's a lot more. It's certainly not good. We don't want interest rates to go up. Very related to like CPI and all that stuff, all related to each other. And yeah, that's kind of what we're in right now. Again, tough market, tough market. FRC still breaking lows down to 675s here. 675s. Wow. All right, yeah, guys. SPY breaking lows again. Now, again, I was going to buy up some banks. I don't know yet, though. Again, I don't know. All right, guys. So again, at 406.30s here, 406.30s. FRC still consolidating, but man, looking weak. Got me scared to buy up anything right now. In all honesty, got me scared to buy up stuff. All right, FRC just tapped lows again here. Let's see if it breaks now. 677, 676 just broke lows again. 673. Wow. Huge breakdown in pre-market this morning here. Wow. Yeah, give me a follow on Twitter. We're posting about this now. But man. Yeah, crashing in pre-market down to 640s, 650s here. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, y'all be careful, man. I told you guys, man. Somebody asked me about buying a dip earlier on this. I told you guys, I just don't trust it. There's too much risk in buying that dip. Like, it might work. I even said it probably would work, but again, the risk of a downfall like this is just too high. So I'm just not messing with this at all. There's just too much risk here, in all honesty. I just don't want to touch this right now. Way too much risk here. Down to 640s at this point in time. So, scary. Scary. 630s, guys. 630s for FRC. Wow. 630s here. Crazy. Yeah, guys. $6 just tapped for First Republic, guys. $6. Man, what a crazy market today, guys. What a crazy market. Uh I don't even know what to do with this, man. This is honestly absolutely crazy right now. Um 560s for FRC, guys. 560s. Everybody's scared. Everybody's dumping this. There's a huge selling pressure coming in right now, guys. Again, y'all be very, 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 very careful. This thing is crashing down. Wow. Crazy. You were saying that bears were so wrong? Yeah, but the spy's at 406, bro. Like, I've seen this a couple different times today, man. Are you acting like the spy is crashing down, sir? Because, like, okay, dude. Are you so just let me get this right. Just to clarify, broke. You are saying that this proves bears were correct? What are y'all talking about, man? Again, I saw another YouTuber that's been saying the market was going to crash since back here. Try to do the same thing. Like, the dude's been saying the market's going to crash since like 390s, And so now that the spy's dropping down to 406 and 407, now all of a sudden that crash prediction is right. Come on now, dude. Like, again, I get it. People want to be right. I understand. But like, this isn't anything close to a crash. The only thing crashing is FRC here. You know what I mean? Come on now. Let's just be honest here about it. Like, the spy's at 406. Are we really going to act like the spy's just crashing down? Of course not. Again, I get it. Like, there's some gurus out there slanging courses, and they really want to be right. And instead of being like, yo, I was wrong, I called the market crashing at 395. And so I was wrong about that. The spy ended up pushing up big. Now instead they're just kind of grasping at straws trying to be right. And so they get like a couple percent drop in a day, and they're like, aha, see, I told you the market was going to crash. And it's like, okay, so again, just to confirm this is what people are calling a crash right now, just to confirm it. This is what y'all are saying is a crash. Got it. Don't be silly. Yeah, I've been hearing the same thing for months. Maybe it crashes again, but like, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. FRC with a big pop back up. But again, like snap out of the guru. Like a lot of people are following these guys that have just been telling everybody the market was going to crash. Snap out of it for a second and understand, like, look, we're not going to really crash in terms of the market. Like the market's not really going to crash here until we break. Let's look at it. Until we break down realistically under, we'd have to break down under 380s before I start to get really worried. So like instead of the candle looking like this, it would need to look like this instead. You know what I mean? So like I get it. There's a lot of people who really want to be right because they're selling courses and they like really are kind of maneuvering to try to gain credibility, even though they've been wrong about their crash predictions so far, right? I understand there's a lot of traders out there pumping up, market crash videos and all that stuff. But again, the SPY is at 407s right now, 406. We are so far away from a crash right now. It's not even, it doesn't even, it's completely irrelevant. Again, the market's not really going to crash until we drop under 380. Like you're going to get red periods of market activity. Like you're going to get bearish days. You're going to get days where the market drops a couple percent, sometimes more. But it doesn't mean a crash is going to happen. Anybody could say, hey, the market's going to crash, and then wait for a day where we just kind of have a red couple days like we have, and then be like, see, I told you guys. It's like, no, that's not a crash. Like that is normal. That happens generally every couple weeks at least. You know what I mean? Like we're generally going to get periods of red action every couple weeks. Anybody could say that and then claim to be right afterwards. But again, most of the time, the people that are feeding you this stuff are people who have been saying the market's going to crash from 390s, 395s, 380s, and now that the SPY has a couple percent drop in a day or two period, then they're just kind of like, instead of admitting that, hey, maybe I was wrong about my short-term crash prediction, they're just kind of grasping at straws trying to be right. Again, it looks desperate to me, but again, rant over. I'll end the rant right there. But it's important for traders to kind of snap out of that, I think. Buy the dip. I'm not buying the dip, bro. FRC going to zero? Hey, it might, bro. I'm not even arguing against that. I don't know. What's considered a crash? A crash is 15, 20%. Right? And so we can look at exactly what would be considered a crash relative to where we're at now. And so again, if we look at the SPY here, again, SPY at 406 right now. We'll call it 406, right? So in order for the SPY to be considered crashing, it would have to drop 20%. So we'll multiply it times 0.8. A crash would really be even more than that. 406. So a crash would realistically have to be like this. Like a crash in the SPY would have to look like this. And so this little blip is not a crash. And we're going to take a picture of this and post it on Twitter. So yeah, y'all alert me when we hit 320s, because until then, we're not anything close to a crash. Until like I said, 380s is the level where I might start to get a little worried short term about fluctuations. We break underneath this level right here, then it's like, okay, we're looking weak, but we still got so much time away from that. Again, snap yourself out of the sensationalism, guys. All right, guys. Uh, Watching these gurus and thinking the market will crash even worse after watching The Big Short could be toxic for new traders. Yeah, bro. Honestly, 100%. Big Short is what got me into the market, to put it into perspective. So, like, The Big Short is what one of the things that got me into the market. But like, you got to check yourself out of it. Like, again, I call it the Michael Burry effect. Like, everybody wants to be Michael Burry. For YouTubers, a lot of the time, it's like telling people the market's going to crash gets clicks, right? But it's just kind of like, at a certain point, what are y'all talking about, man? Like, we're not anywhere close to a crash. If anything, the market's needed this pullback. In all honesty, like, the market's been on a huge bull run over the last month or so. Like, look at this run market's been on. So, like, you can't have the market run up huge percentages and then pull back a small amount and be like, aha, a crash. See, it's just it's hilarious, to be honest, to a certain point. But and again, in my situation, it's like, look, I've been telling you guys we didn't have to crash as the market pumped up after. So I've been telling you, remember, guys, back here, I've been saying, hey, we don't have to crash over the last month. And again, I've been arguing with people all day about it. You know, top 3 arguers in the world right now. But yeah. And then again, I'm not gonna say I was right, but you know, we pumped up afterwards. So I mean, hey, I'm not saying I know what I'm talking about, but like I might. FRC will sell popcorn to get rid of its debt. Hey. Phase down 33 after earnings. I bought the dip yesterday after the earnings report. So again, I bought the dip yesterday at like, I can't remember where I bought it. I had the quickest trade on ENPH yesterday. So I ended up buying the dip. If you look at this here, let me put up a 1 minute chart. I ended up buying the dip right after the earnings report. Yeah, look. So I ended up buying this dip very quickly. I bought 20 shares at 193, or no, at 188. I bought the dip. So I bought the dip here and then sold at 190s. So I bought the dip here and then sold up here, made like 30 or 40 bucks and then got out. So I don't know about buying the dip now. I don't know enough about ENPH to say. I know it's oil related though. But again, I just don't know. Shout out to Pawn, because Pawn and a couple other people were telling me about it. All right, so yeah, ENPH bouncing back up to 640s. Is the bleeding over with? I guess is the question now. Is the bleeding over with? We did a poll. I might have to correct the poll a little bit as well. We did a poll earlier. Again, mortgage numbers are out. We did a poll earlier. Will FRC bounce back over 850s today? 58% say no. I'm gonna have to end this poll, and we're gonna do another one. We also have Boeing earnings dropping in about 4 minutes, guys. Boeing earnings in about 4 minutes. Does FRC bounce back over 750s today? Now we're gonna change the poll. $7 today. How about that? Does FRC bounce back over $7 today? Let me know. We do have earnings coming out, guys. Boeing earnings drop in about 4 minutes here. 4 minutes for Boeing earnings. Be ready. The Fed speaking today? No, there's no Fed meeting, I don't think, today. Do you lose a ton of money on FRC or something? No, I got about pretty flat. Again, I showed my positions on FRC yesterday, but they were baby positions. I might have lost $10 on FRC, and I actually got out really lucky. So, like, look, I'm flat on FRC. Because I've had a few people come here and be like, you lost a bunch of money on FRC. I really didn't. Look, I just showed my trades. These are my trades. So, again, the only time I traded FRC was on the 24th. So the day before yesterday, we bought it up at 1390s, sold at 15s, most of it, and then we held 10 shares, and we ended up holding through these drops and cut it, the remaining 10 shares, right before this big drop. So again, we didn't get caught in any of this drop. None. And again, you can kind of see we are flat on the position. We're not holding any. We got caught in none of that drop. If we lost anything, I think we might have lost like $5 because we made money on the bounce and then we lost money on the drop afterwards. So again, it was pretty flat of a trade. But yeah, we didn't get stuck in it. Again, I just don't trust it enough to buy this thing up. Maybe it does something, but again, I don't trust it enough. But yeah, that kind of proves I didn't lose any money on it. Not really, at least. Google beat both metrics. So yeah, Google beat EPS, beat sales, did well. Microsoft did really well too. All right, back up to 664s here, guys. Again, let me know what you guys think here about this. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Soul Runner is pretty cool. I will tell you this though: as Disney pulls back, I'm kind of establishing a long position in this one. Well, the whole market's down, and Google is a large blue chip, so it's going to follow the market to a certain extent. So that's exactly what it's doing. So it's following the market to a certain extent. If you look at, here's an easy way to tell. So here's the SPY versus here's Google. Pretty similar looking stock. Pretty similar looking chart, that is. Here's the SPY. Look, drop, bounce, drop, bounce. Most of these are just following FRC. Yeah, Boeing is out with theirs. Or no, Boeing might not have released theirs yet. Let me see. Okay, yeah, Boeing just dropped. So Boeing posted an adjusted loss per share of 127. 120 loss, 127 loss per share on earnings, on a 98-cent loss per share estimate. So Boeing missed pretty big here just now. Missed on EPS, but they are flying up right now on this data here. So again, Boeing is out. Are they halted right now? No, not halted. Just weird volatility movement. So Boeing is out. Again, they posted a first quarter adjusted loss per share of 127 versus 98-cent loss per share estimates. I'm looking for revenue here. Revenue of 17.9 billion versus 17.58. So they beat on revenue, missed on EPS. is what happened. Or no, it looks like they might have beat on both metrics here. Now look at Boeing popping back up to 208s. And here's Boeing. Okay, so yeah, it looks like they missed. So here's the Boeing numbers right here. We're going to put these up on screen. Yeah, I don't know why Boeing's going up. $207s. I know the market kind of needs this, though. So the market kind of needs this thing to go up. Yeah, I mean, Zello. Google's just down because the market is down. The market's down because FRC's weakness. The banking problems being reignited in terms of fear is what caused the market to drop. You can see there's an obvious correlation between the FRC drop and the SPY drop. And then there's an obvious correlation between the SPY drop and Google. So like Google is mostly just trending with the overall market. Like 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. Blue chip stocks follow each other. And so like in that regard, that's essentially what's happening. It's the same reason like Microsoft had a much better earnings report, but so they're gapping up still despite it. But most stocks are going to be following the market like that. Yeah, Nvidia. Yeah, you know how it goes, Chris. But you say that like people don't tell John what he should do or his trading is wrong or they know something everyone else doesn't. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the whole internet's filled with it. Again, the general like generally people just don't want to be wrong is what I noticed. Like people just don't want to be wrong. People get wrapped up into a lot of different stuff. Again, a lot of times like it's political based or like whatever. Like if you dislike the current administration, it's kind of confirmation bias to say the market's going to crash or whatever it is, right? But it doesn't necessarily, like crashes are very difficult to predict. And again, you got a lot of people who have been telling everybody the market was going to crash since 360s, 370s, 380s, 390s. And now that the SPY is over 400s and we have a small pullback, again, a lot of them are just really desperate to be right. And so, they overestimate the likelihood of a crash. To be fair, a lot of them are just getting fed that from like big YouTubers. And I understand, like, if I was wrong about this, but I've been saying the same thing effectively since when? Like, I've been saying the same thing over and over again since, the last 3 or 4 months. And in the last 3 or 4 months, the market has pushed up a lot. So you better believe if I was wrong about this, I would never hear the end of it. But I haven't been wrong. And so it's just kind of crickets because they know. They know I've been sitting there telling them the market didn't have to crash. I was sitting there telling them the market would probably push up. And like, that's exactly what we got. So, I mean, it is what it is. But again, generally, there's a lot of egos floating around in stocks. And like, of course, I have one too. Like, I want to be right too. I joke around top 3 egos in the world right now, but I think it's just kind of human nature to a certain extent, and it's all love. Like we could have people that disagree with me, as long as they're respectful about it. But not everybody is, of course, and like sometimes we get people who are just disrespectful with it, because sometimes like the truth hurts, and sometimes being wrong hurts. I think, so it is what it is. It's all good. No, Google is I mean, Zello. No offense, man. I disagree with you. I think the market follows Google to a certain extent, sure, but like the whole market follows the SPY as well. So like they both follow each other. They both are weighed down and up from each other, and that's not even like arguable, to be honest. Like certainly Google follows the market sometimes. It's not. It's really like Google follows tech, is what it is. Like Google has sympathy movement with tech. Right. So if tech starts crashing, Google starts crashing. It's for the same reason that if we look at Bank of America right now. Bank of America is really weak in pre-market. Why? Because FRC is really weak in pre-market. You can look at JP Morgan, and before I even look at JP Morgan, I can tell you it's down on the day. Why? Because FRC is down so much on the day. We can pull up other related bank stocks, and the same thing happens here. And so again, it's a little bit of both. But Google, saying Google's overvalued is just kind of a blanket statement. Like, it's too vague. Anybody could say that. But again, right now, Google is dropping because the whole market is dropping, right? The whole market is dropping because of FRC fears, or has been dropping because of FRC fears. But, saying the reason exactly why Google is dropping, nobody knows. Like, it's certainly at least a little bit of sympathy with the overall market being down because, again, 3 out of 4 stocks follow the SPY or the market in general, and the market's down today. The market's been flushing for the last 30 minutes or so with FRC's dump. So that's kind of what's going on in terms of broad market activity. Now, I understand you might dislike whatever it is and think they're going to crash or whatever, but, I think we also have to call a spade a spade. And, it is what it is. Google, we can look at the PE ratio of Google as well, to see if Google's PE ratio is actually really solid here. So Google has a PE ratio way better than most of the other stocks right now. Google's PE ratio right now is 23. That's pretty solid. To put it into perspective, Tesla's PE ratio right now, I think, is 50. Amazon's like 100 plus. And so in terms of like price versus how much the company actually makes, their PE ratio is actually pretty low. And so in terms of like value, there might be some there with Google. Again, I don't know. But I know like one of the conventional metrics to determine if something's overvalued or undervalued is PE ratio, and the PE ratio of Google is under 25, which at a time of high inflation and problems is not bad, for sure. No, I don't have a position in them right now. Yeah, Zello, listen, man. No offense, dude, but you really don't have it. You really have no idea what you're talking about. Then, if you don't think the market is fearing bank collapse right now, then you don't. Then you really just don't know what you're talking about, Zello. No offense to you, man. But it's just the truth right now. You can look at the whole market. The whole market is 100% getting dragged down from FRC. Again, look at FRC on the right. Okay, look at FRC on the right, and it's not about the market following specifically FRC. What it's about, and again, some people are just closed-minded, so like they're not going to listen, and that might be you. But what I'm asking you to do is objectively listen to what I'm about to say. Okay, banking fears have calmed a little bit, or up to yesterday, banking fears had calmed a lot relative to the last couple months. The last couple months, banking fears have basically scared the entire market. Everybody was worried about banks. Everybody was worried about a banking collapse and ultimate recession that we would get from a banking collapse, right? Everybody was worried about it. Banking stocks dropped heavily. FRC tanked. A lot of other banks tanked. We had the Silicon Valley problems with SIVB, and all that stuff. And that certainly weighed on market sentiment. Those banking fears subsided a little bit as FRC started to rebound some. So FRC started to rebound some. Banking fears were calmed a little bit. The market feared banking collapse less and less as time went on. A lot of people thought we were past the banking crisis, me included. I thought that as well. Then FRC dropped their earnings report a couple days ago, on Monday, I believe. Maybe it was the day before yesterday. FRC dropped their earnings report. And again, what's going on right now proves exactly what I'm saying here. Okay, so if you don't think they follow each other, look at this. We get a big pop-up in FRC. We get a big pop-up in the SPY. Okay, the likelihood that that's not a correlation with each other, the likelihood that that's not sympathy with each other is very, very, very low. Very, very, very low. Again, you can kind of see the similarities in the chart. You can see drops here in the SPY. You can see drops in FRC. And so again, what's going on now is that as FRC crashes and FRC drops, the entire market is starting to fear banking collapse again. And that is weighing on sentiment in banking, which is then weighing on the entire market sentiment. And so they're all connected, right? So if banking is weak, the market gets dragged down because of that weakness. That's what's going on with FRC right now. And again, you can kind of see it exactly. A little small pullback in FRC. The SPY is 1,000% reacting to the banking fears that are reignited from FRC's earnings report and ultimate collapse over the last 24 hours. 100% without question. It's not really arguable, to be honest. And so again, you could say it's not from that, but again, most people that understand what's going on in the market understand this. It's not going to be a perfect correlation, but there's obvious fears from banking getting reignited from FRC. And if FRC drops over 50, 60, 70%, that's going to weigh on market sentiment. And that's ultimately been what's happened. So like if you look back at the SPY, for instance, here, and again, you got to understand like the interconnectivity of the market. Like they're all connected. Like the SPY is connected to Google, FRC is connected to banking, which affects the market. Like it's all connected, man. Yeah, all good, Z. You don't have to pay me for anything, brother. Why one small bank collapse matters? It's not a small bank. It was $120 a share prior to the banking collapse. Yeah. Yeah, but consumer sentiment, Jen, is not going to influence the market that heavily. Like, again, you can kind of see. So consumer sentiment came out at 10 a.m. yesterday. And I'm not saying they didn't have any effect on the market. But what I'm saying is that if you look at the SPY here, here's the easiest way to prove what I'm saying. Okay. Here's the drops in the SPY, right? The drops in the SPY happened right around midday. If you look at when FRC collapsed, again, there's no pure example of what I'm saying besides this. Like, look at what I'm showing you guys. Again, look, y'all can disagree with me, but it's not arguable. Okay, like it really is not arguable. Again, look, huge drops in the SPY. The likelihood that these two things would happen, this catastrophic drop in FRC and this catastrophic drop in the SPY, the likelihood that those things would happen at exactly the same time on the same day being completely unrelated is so low that it's not arguable. All right, like this proves exactly what I'm saying. And so again, not arguable. I hope you guys can admit you're wrong here, because this is 1,000% why the market dropped. And again, there's no more pure example of what I'm showing you right now. Like this again, because what you would be arguing here, if you're saying they're unrelated, what you would be arguing here is that these two huge drops in two different things were completely unrelated to each other. And that's just not true. Of course, anybody that understands probabilities understands that these things are completely related. Same time, same type of drop, same big movement down, same reaction to the market. It's certainly not a coincidence here. And again, we can agree to disagree, but I think disagreeing here, considering what's on my screen right now, is silly. In all honesty. Yeah, any bank collapse in this country is going to be problematic for sure, without question. And that's what it really is. Again, look, somebody said he said you're making me laugh. Listen, if you don't see the correlation there, I don't know what to tell you. You're just not trying to hear it. Again, anybody with half a brain, no offense, is going to see these two moving with each other. Again, same exact time. Y'all are trying to tell me at 12:15 exactly on the same day. We're for different reasons. Same exact time on the same day. You're trying to tell me this is not sympathy with each other? You're trying to tell me they're not reacting to each other, guys? Again, if you genuinely believe that these two things, the broad S&P 500 and FRC Bank, both collapsed huge percentages at exactly the same time for completely different reasons, again, I question your intelligence. No offense to anybody at home. Cheers to you guys. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, point remaining for everybody else in chat. The SPY's following FRC without question. Now, the market doesn't want to see a banking crisis, right? Because what a banking crisis ultimately could drive is a recession. That's the fear, right? That's why, like, the whole bank is fearing a recession right now. Or the whole market is fearing a recession as FRC drops more and more. The more FRC rebounds back up, the less likely a recession is going to be there, but there's still a chance for sure. Yeah, all good. No, it's all good. Sometimes I'm a little bit dramatic because it's good for the stream, so it's all good. Yeah, algorithm certainly jumped on that 100%. John, these are clearly short ladder attacks. Hey, those ladder attacks, bro, you know how they go. Oh, now you're saying there's no correlation. Got it. Okay. Yeah, for sure, Jack. It's all good. Like I said, again, I'm trying to help people at home. Understand, guys, the market is certainly following banks. And again, just to backpedal on that, Zello. And again, it's all good. I think these conversations are healthy. I really do. So don't think I'm just arguing just to argue. I have the debater personality type. So like, y'all don't get me started. But I think these debates are healthy, so it's all good. But what I'm trying to say is that Zello, about 5 minutes ago, you said, why would the market follow a small bank? I think that's what you said. Let me go back and check. But the point is, like, the whole point I'm trying to say, guys, the whole point that y'all need to understand about the market right now is that the SPY is certainly moving in sympathy with FRC. The more FRC crashes, the more fears that are reignited in the broader market, especially with banking. And so if you see FRC start to test lows again, understand there could be some risk in blue chips in general today. And so that's an important thing to understand. Like, there's risks. If FRC bank starts to collapse more and more, that's going to trickle into everything else. That's going to drag the entire market down. Yeah, mortgages went up. And so again, y'all be careful today. Point is, if FRC starts to tank, if FRC starts to tank, the whole market's going to fall. And so y'all be careful. All right, SPY rejected at the volume weighted average price. Yeah, again, you could watch Bitcoin. A lot of people are asking me to look at Bitcoin. Again, same concept here. Here's Bitcoin. But in Bitcoin, it's going to be different than the S&P 500 because in Bitcoin, there's going to be a negative. There's going to be an opposite correlation with FRC because the more fears that are ignited in banking, the more optimism is ignited in crypto. So like if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's been pumping up since the FRC demise over the last couple of days. Why is that? Is because as Bitcoin starts to, or as FRC starts to fail, Bitcoin starts to get some optimism and more renewed optimism with regards to crypto. Because when banking struggles, people hedge it with crypto. People are more willing to put their money in crypto because they fear banks, right? And so there's an inverse correlation between the market activity and crypto, which is one of the reasons, again, you've seen Bitcoin rip up. Same concept, just opposite relative to the market itself. So interesting to watch. Yeah, but I guess the whole point, Chief Reef says, I think Zello, and again, we're not arguing, guys. This is just a good little healthy debate, and so it's all good. But my whole point of all of this, Chief, he said, Zello is saying every security has a specific weighting within the SPY and the Q. Stocks within influence SPY and Q, not the other way around. Sure, but okay, part of your comment there, Chief, is correct, which is that every security has a specific weight. Like Apple is the highest weighted stock on the S&P, followed by Microsoft, I believe, followed by Amazon. So the top 3 weighted stocks on the S&P, for instance, are Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, right? But what I'm saying here, I'm not arguing there. Of course, stocks influence the S&P 500, and weakness in Amazon is going to drag the S&P 500 down without question. I'm not arguing that. That's obviously and self-evidently true. What I'm saying is that also the other way around certainly happens as well. So what I'm saying is that sometimes broad weakness in sectors and the overall market does drag down individual stocks too. So I guess the point is, like, if Amazon and Apple are dropping down, there's a pretty good chance Microsoft is going to follow it to a certain extent, as long as there's not a crazy catalyst here. So, like, if Amazon and Apple and Microsoft all drop 10 or 15%, there's a pretty good likelihood that following that, what Google is going to drop down with it. And so they influence each other. Sectors influence each other. Stocks follow the overall market, and the market follows individual stocks as well. And so it's more nuanced than just one. Like, it's more nuanced than just the market only follows individual stocks, because again, the S&P 500 is stocks. It's the 500 largest stocks in the world. What I'm saying is that there's certainly sympathy movement with regards to sectors as well. And so if the whole market's weak, people fear everything in blue chips, and those drop too. Yeah, earnings too. Yeah, for sure. Earnings certainly move. Some of my best plays are earnings dip buys. I don't know. You got to have crypto banks first. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weakness in the SPY today for sure. Earnings. Yeah, so Boeing dropped their numbers already. You can kind of see they missed EPS, beat on sales. I can agree with that. Yeah, for sure. It's all good, man. Like I said, sometimes I'm a little bit passionate about my arguments or my debates, and so it's all good. Again, I do have the debater personality type, which has some flaws. And again, I talked about, again, I don't know if I trust it, but like, I'm kind of using it as an example of my personality. I am what if you take the Myers-Briggs personality test, which again I'm not completely sure is not like a horoscope type thing, but it says people like me are, let's see, extroverted, intuitive thinking and prospecting personality traits. They tend to be bold and creative, deconstructing and rebuilding ideas with great mental agility. They pursue goals vigorously despite resistance. Now, again, I'm not convinced this isn't just straight up horoscope nonsense. Like horoscopes, they'll be like, yeah, they're such a caring and loving person who gives their all into their friends and family. So like anybody that hears that is going to be like, hey, that's me. I give my all into my friends and family. I'm a, loving person. I pursue my goals, and that's how they get you. They're like, it's got to be true. That's like, those are the most vague descriptions ever. And so again, I'm not completely sure that that's not what this is, but we'll go to the weaknesses. Weaknesses: argumentative, naturally, insensitive. Being so rational, debaters often misjudge others' feelings and push their debates well past others' tolerance levels. I guess that's probably considered true. People with this personality don't really consider emotional points to be valid in debates, which magnifies the issue. Is that me, guys? I don't know. Again, I don't know if I trust this test. Bitcoin at 29K. FRC back over sevens. Let's see if it holds. Microsoft's so strong is because of earnings. AI hype for sure ripped Microsoft up. I covered the earnings call yesterday. Huge rips in Microsoft, to be honest. Big moves up. Activision down. Yeah, I think they said the deal might not be going through. I saw some type of UK regulator stuff about the deal not going through. Again, the SPY break it down today. Is it time for a dip buy? I don't know yet. I don't know. Do you think I feel like the economy is going to crash is a good argument? No, I don't. I think that's a terrible argument. Why is market down if Microsoft is up? Well, because the whole market doesn't. Again, Microsoft is up because of AI hype. The market's down because of FRC and banking fear. That's all it is, right? So they're not always going to trend with each other. Microsoft is what's called leading the market right now because of the earnings report yesterday, where they beat EPS, they beat sales, and they just did really well. They talked about AI, Chat GPT a lot. The market is down though in pre-market right now. It's not really down; it's kind of break even, but the market's following FRC's lead here with banking fears reignited over the last 24 hours. Like that's essentially what's going on today. So that's why the market is lagging behind Microsoft, is because of banking fears and problems. Yeah, Microsoft had amazing earnings for sure. Yeah, we covered them. We streamed them. Can I ask what trade strategy you're using at the moment? Mostly what I'm doing is like looking for big emotional pullbacks. Like I'm looking for big percentage drops in blue chips, and then I'm buying up those drops and holding it, anywhere between a couple hours to a couple weeks, and then selling on a bounce. So like I'm looking for a big percentage pullback. A lot of the time they can be from earnings, but they can also just be from larger news stories. I'm looking for extension on the 5 minute, 15 minute, 4 hour, hourly, daily chart. And I'm just kind of trying to buy pullbacks into support on emotional dips, and then riding the bounce back. A great example of it was yesterday. We had in phase earnings. And so on in phase yesterday, this was just a day trade. I ended up buying the dip here and then riding the bounce back up and selling pretty quickly. That's something that I've been taking pretty regularly. And again, I am green on the year in Thinkorswim doing this. I'm green on the year as a whole in TOS. So that's mostly my strategy. Hey, what's up, Joseph? Yeah, that might be true, Zello. Like that, anybody, but I guess the point you're missing here, Zello, I think, is that FRC certainly had weakness, but the big problems with banking were mostly due to SIVB, which is not even listed anymore. Yeah, which is now at 57 cents. And so the main problem was that FRC started to get really weak, and then it did start a rebound. I mean, it did start rebounding back up here. If we put a 20-day chart up here, FRC did start to bounce back. Here's a daily chart. And so like FRC started to come back a little bit here. So it had the big collapse. It dropped down to 12s. It started to rebound over the last 5 or 6 days. And a lot of people were assuming, I was too scared to buy it. I bought it a little bit, but I lost like $10 and I got out. But I was too scared to hold it, I guess is the best way to put it. But we started to get some rebounds, and a lot of people were starting to gain more optimism with regards to banking. And so the big collapse started from their earnings report. Their earnings report came out on Monday, and that basically tanked the entire stock all the way back down. And that's what spiraled it out of control to this. So it's like, sure, people understood there was weakness in FRC, but I think a lot of people thought that that weakness might be over. And the banking problems might have calmed a little bit, including the Fed to a certain extent. The Fed, when they did some of the conferences over the last couple of weeks, one of the things the Fed would talk about is how well they handled FRC, how well they handled SIVB, how well they handled the banking crisis, and that the banking crisis was basically done. And a lot of people bought that up and loved it, and were trying to ride the bounce on FRC. And I understood it. It seemed like a good bounce. I'm not hating on anybody that did. But again, their earnings report kind of turned that around. And after their earnings report, they just got destroyed. And of course, what happened then is, like, again, the prime proof that FRC is dragging the market down. Like, number one, FRC is not going to have a huge correlation with the SPY. At this point in time, it's a small regional bank, and so it's not like FRC is going to be following the SPY here. But my argument this morning was that the SPY was reacting to FRC's weakness. And again, I showed this earlier, but the prime proof of that is the drop that we had. So look, FRC started to collapse really starting midday at noon. And if you look at the SPY midday at noon, again, the exact same thing. Like, you can kind of see that this crisis started midday at noon on the SPY. You can zoom in here and show it. Literally right at noon. And so this all started from FRC's weakness, and the market started to fear banking crisis and collapse again. That's ultimately why the SPY turned down so much yesterday and was really, really weak midday yesterday, is because, again, banking fears were reignited. And luckily, earnings after the bell came in pretty positive, with Microsoft earnings doing okay. And that kind of helped the market bounce back a little bit. But now we're back down. And again, FRC is, went all the way down to 550s this morning in pre-market. And so again, the SPY started to test lows and broke under that level at basically the same time that FRC started to do it. And so again, the whole market's kind of having those reignited banking fears is what's going on. And that's a scary thing, man. Again, if banks fail, even if it's a small bank first, like even if it's FRC, right? If FRC fails, that's going to trickle into large banks and large, or that's going to trickle into other banks. And then if more fail, that can start kind of a contagion of banking problems that drags into the entire market, affects everything. And so that is why there's sympathy there and there's movement with each other. Yeah, and again, what's bad for banks is good for crypto. All good, Shavar. Uh, the size varies. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be too specific. Yeah, banks are the foundation for everything, for sure. All right, guys. So yeah, we're not really trading too much now. The only thing we're really holding, like we bought a little bit of Disney yesterday, and we are break even here on this one for the most part. But I'll probably add to it. Buys bug spray. That was a hot box. Yeah, Boeing. All right, guys. So we do have we do have we have durable good orders. At 8:30. All right, guys. So again, 695s for FRC, ENPH. What's y'all's favorite trading book? Favorite trading book? I've got a couple of them. I think Mark Douglas is probably the goat when it comes to trading, but trading in the zone, yeah, Mark Douglas Voorhees, Do you ever trade altcoins that are worth 1 cent? Or no, 0.01 cent? Do you mean 0.01 cent or do you mean 1 cent, sir? Microsoft's still loving life up there. Huge run for Microsoft. Again, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, guys. We're already up to 105,000 subs. Pushing for 110 if we can. Yeah, what's up, guys? Trading in the zone, yes, the best one. Reminiscence. I can't pronounce it. Reminiscence. Reminiscence of a stock operator. Oh, is it stock broker? I thought it was a stock operator. What does it go? Reminiscences of a stock. Yeah, it's stock operator. So it's not. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. We just got the OG stock book. Again, I don't know how relevant it actually is anymore, though. I mean, I'm sure you could still use that book, but like, it's 100 years old at this point. All right, guys, market started to bounce back up. And again, another proof of sympathy with FRC. FRC back up to 745, it's almost 750 here. In that, the SPY moved back up to test the VWAP here. So, again, we'll see if we bounce back today. It's kind of a crazy day at this point in time. Again, we got about 15 minutes until core durable good orders. Yeah, for sure, Chris. All right, again, FRC bouncing back some here, team. All right, so again, big pop up in the SPY here. Over volume weighted average price. I don't know what I want to do with this yet, though. Again, the only thing I'm really in right now is Disney, and I could add a little bit more as it dips down some to help fix my average a little bit, which I might. But again, I don't know what's going to happen. I certainly don't want anybody to copy me here. Kind of slowly buying the dip. Market's starting to pop back a little bit here. ENPH still down big. I'm going to put up Tesla here to see what this looks like. Tesla's still consolidating, though. It's been a weird couple days in market activity, guys. Again, we got about 14 minutes. We'll put a timer up to do core durable good orders, which again drop in about 14 minutes. Um, Tesla has been hard to predict for a while. Yeah, Tesla's been a little choppy. Tesla getting ready for the leg down to 150. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm confident enough to buy it yet. We'll have to wait and see. All right, guys. FRC at 720s here. Again, Tesla's still kind of chopping back and forth. Microsoft up to 298s here for Microsoft, up to 298s. All right, so we're trying to hold at the volume weighted average price for the SPY here. We still got about 12 minutes. Again, durable good orders drop at 8:30, and again, we'll put this up on screen. For durable goods, drop at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and are expected. We also have crude oil inventories coming out today, but yeah, the core durable good orders are expected to show up at. Let me pull up Bloomberg. We'll just look at Market Watch. Market Watch says, all right, so core durable goods, according to Market Watch, are expected to show up. So the regular durable goods are expected to show up at 0.5%. 0.5%. Core durable goods are the largest one. They're expected to show up at minus 0.2%. Minus 0.2%. Durable good orders is medium importance. It's not like crazy important, but it's also not completely irrelevant either. All right, SPY popping up a little bit more at 406.91s, right under the 200 EMA. Right under the 200 EMA. All right, so still rejecting at that 200 EMA level for the SPY. We'll see if it moves. Again, FRC at 730s here. SPY still underneath the 200 EMA. Yeah, good luck, Tanner. Just be careful, bro. He said I'm up to 2,500% on FRC puts. Yeah, just be careful. Yeah, Meta earnings are this evening. CXAI. Yeah, just be careful, man. If I'm up 2,500% in anything, I'm going to take at least a little bit of profit. But of course, I'm not telling you what to do. I have no idea what you should do there. Just be careful. All right, so right underneath the 200 EMA, I think this is a good level to watch to see if it holds. Again, over the 200 EMA now on the SPY. All right, so still testing the 200 EMA. FRC starting to dip back down here a little bit. 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. Yeah, Bitcoin flying up because of FRC's weakness, for sure. Just sitting back and watching. Yeah, Bitcoin ramping up here, guys. So let's take a look at it here. So here's Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin at almost 30,000 again, almost 30K for Bitcoin. So hey, good for it, man. I hope it continues. With the FRC craziness, it's gonna help Bitcoin and other crypto. Again, I'm not really buying anything yet. I'm not really confident enough to buy anything today. Again, we do have durable good orders coming out in about 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes for durable goods. What time is more valid? 3 or 5 minutes? It doesn't really matter either way. It's all, you can use them on different time frames. The 200 DMA is a longer term moving average, and so like you can use it on any time frame you want. People getting critical of me using the 1 minute. Like I'm just showing you guys the most recent price action. And so yeah, some of the most ridiculous things are when people criticize short-term price movements descriptions. Like if I say, oh, a big move over VWAP short term, who cares if it's not the biggest move you've ever seen? Again, that's just being desperate to criticize. in the end, I'm going to describe them as pops, rips, whatever it is. A lot of the time I'm looking at a 1 minute chart because that's the most recent movement that the chat can see. Like a lot of the time we're describing short-term price action. So of course we're using a 1 minute. We don't actually directly trade off the 1 minute super often. Most of the time with swing trading, we're using like the 4-hour chart or like the daily chart or, you know, the 5-minute chart if it's a shorter term trade. And again, we got 4 large monitors too. So, I mean, we're using a bunch of different charts. We got 2 minutes, guys, before durable good orders. And again, we will cover them on stream. All right, Bitcoin over 29.4. SPY still trying to break the 200 EMA. FRC finally starting to dip down a little bit here. Microsoft still pretty strong on the day. I got about a minute and a half left, guys. 1.5 minutes. All right, guys. SPY at 406.90 is back over the 200 EMA. Activision down 12%. Yeah, I think it's because the Microsoft deal is not going to go through. At least somebody said, one of the EU regulators said they didn't think it was going to go through. All right, guys. Again, durable good orders dropping pretty soon. Less than a minute. We are ready. We got them up. All right, guys, here we go. Expectations are minus 0.2%, minus 0.2%. Here we go, 15 seconds. All right, let's see what the durable good orders show. Bitcoin's still flying up here, guys. All right, and here goes the durable good orders. All right, there we go. 0.3% gain in durable good orders. 0.3% gain versus minus 0.2% loss. So higher than expected reading for durable goods on both metrics. Base durable goods came in at 3.2% versus 0.7% expectations. Core durable goods came in at a positive number at 0.3% versus minus 0.2%. And this is causing weakness in markets, of course, because inflation fears, like higher numbers is not going to be seen as a positive because of inflation problems and fears. So yeah, Microsoft winning an appeal versus the CMA are very slim according to CNBC's favor. But yeah, again, 0.3% versus minus 0.2% expected here for core durable good orders. Bear with me here. We are going to put these numbers up on screen. But again, durable good orders came in at 0.3% for core durable good orders versus minus 0.2% expected here. Again, we're putting these numbers up on screen. All right, so base durable good came in at 3.2% versus 0.7% expectations. Here's the data up on screen. But again, higher than expected readings on everything. And again, it caused drops in the market because of inflation fears. Yeah, so again, anything posting higher inflation fears is going to make the market drop. And yeah, that's what we got today. So again, higher numbers made the market initially drop. Bitcoin flying up on this report, though, almost up to 30,000, about to hit 30K right now. It looks like for Bitcoin. Look at this, almost up to 30K right now for Bitcoin. Look at the huge move up here. Good trades balance came out too. Came in at minus 84.6 versus minus 89. So a little bit higher than expected. Wholesale inventories came in at 0.1%. Core retail inventories came in at 0.4%. But yeah, interesting here. Market's starting to finally bounce back on this data up at 407s here, 407s. Microsoft has held steady around 97. Yeah, I didn't mean Microsoft. I actually meant, sorry, I meant Activision. So the deal with Activision is looking increasingly slim for Microsoft's acquisition into them. That's essentially what I was talking about. Sorry. But yeah, a little bit choppy action from durable goods. Bitcoin popped all the way up to 30,000 right now. But again, you can see the core durable good numbers right there at the bottom. All right, SPY moving back up to 407s here. Again, starting to rip back up. Over 30,000 for Bitcoin here. SPY at 407s. FRC down at 680s. All right, market's flying up. Not flying up. I'm sorry. Bitcoin's flying up. Sorry, not the market. SPY at 407s right now. SPY at 407s. Bro, if I hear hedgies are screwed one more time, y'all be quiet. Y'all sound ridiculous. Hedgies. Like, dude, okay. Bro, if AMC was going to go, it was going to go already. It's at $5 a share. It's been diluted to heck and back. Like, who actually thinks it's going to go crazy? Like, who thinks it's going to, like, mother of all short squeezes? I got some timeshares to sell you. Bitcoin at 29.9 thousand. Almost up to 30K. Hey, thank you, man. Sub on like for everyday news on time here. Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. This channel is your go-to for news on time. Like and sub with the bell. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. We try over here, dude. We try. We cover the data quickly, man. Again, people hate. Like, yeah. I see some people in here trying to like attack sponsors. Like, dude, y'all are just mad. You know. Again, if anybody's mad about how I plug sponsors, they're just being desperate to talk smack. Like the reality of it is, of course, I never plug anything without telling people I'm incredibly biased in their favor. Like literally everything I ever plug here, I'm like, hey guys, I'm biased in their favor. They pay me money. So naturally I'm gonna, favor them more because they pay me money. You know, I'm probably the only person in the world that plugs things like that. Maybe not the only person, definitely top 3 though in the world. But I probably like it's very rare that anybody plugs stuff like that. Literally every plug I ever make is like that. And so if you're mad at me for plugging sponsors, y'all are just mad I'm making money. And that's okay because we make money for sure. We make a good bit too. Feels good, loving life right now. And y'all can stay mad. It's okay. Anyways, FRC bouncing at 680s. Let's see if it actually holds. Again, it's been dragging the market down for a couple days now. Maybe there's some dip buys to get involved with. But SPY's still moving up, which is interesting. So durable good orders came in higher than expected. Hey, thank you, Donald. Yeah, definitely top 3. You know it. Yeah, we saw the new Mario movie. It was good. Miss Stylist. I sold my husband for more AMC. Hey, good luck. Might have been a fair trade. I don't know. What's up, Life Wisdom? Yeah, it's like you got some people who are just mad. Like some people are just mad that, like, most of the people that you see talk smack here, there's a couple different ones, right? But there's a common theme. One of them is like other failed YouTubers, right? Like I look at their channels, they've got no, like they tried to start a channel and it just didn't work, right? Some of those guys are the most hateful people ever. Like they're just mad they couldn't do it. Like that's all it really is. The other type of people are people that are just upset anytime somebody else makes money, right? So if they're getting mad at anybody else for having sponsors or making money, then like I said, they're just unhappy with themselves. And I can be their therapist. Like it's okay, they can let it out here. It's all right. Because I mean, we're definitely one of the top 3 most reasonable sponsored traders in the world right now, for sure. And definitely top 3. Give me your ranking for how reasonable of a sponsoree I am right now. Let me hear it. I want to hear it. Hey, what's up, Rich? Yeah, it's all good, brother. Haters gonna hate. Hey, 10. Oh man, top 3 worldwide. Hey, yeah, it's all good, Matthias. John, don't take those haters personal. You're awesome. I'm with you every day. Please don't even give them as much time. Yeah, for sure. You're probably right. Love the positively top 3 and everything. Definitely top 3 for sure. Listen, I mean, I don't take it too personal. I mean, when you look this good and people are going to hate. It's all right. Hey, all good, Life Wisdom. Thank you, man. SPY over 407s. Over 407s. And again, we'll see if it holds. I don't really trust buying anything right now. I am in Disney for a little bit of a longer term trade, but really, I'll probably add to Disney as it keeps dropping down to like low 90s if it does. I don't know if I'm going to or not. Don't copy me. I might have no idea what I'm talking about. Disney might crash today. I have no idea. But it's not going to crash today. I'm not going to put that out into the universe. It's not going to crash today, but it could. So do not copy me. Hey, thank you, Matthias. this. Yeah, so SPY still at 407s. John, have you heard of first class Forex funds? My friend got funded and made money. I haven't paid him, and they haven't paid him. No, I never heard of that, man. A lot of these prop firms are going to be kind of sketchy like that, though. The reason why Best Buy is still in the 70s. What do you think of ATLX chart? Man, I don't know. People always send me those donations, and I appreciate it, Chris. I really do. But I don't know if you guys want me to look at some of these here. Oh, this is Atlas Lithium. I think the lithium market is a little bit suspect right now. So y'all just be careful because anything could happen in lithium. Again, so I really don't know. Huge gains. This thing has gone from $1.50s in December all the way up to $30. That's a huge gain. And so in that regard, I'm not buying it, bro. But again, do whatever you want. I don't know what's going to happen to it. It might just rip up more, Chris. Certainly a parabolic chart. I usually stay away when they're up to these levels here because, again, there's too much risk of extension and kind of sell-offs happening. But again, purely up to you. I appreciate the $2, brother. Thank you, man. Donald says, well, I joined Chart Prime, but I'm scared of Top Step. Never did contracts before. I'm a Forex guy. We're just starting. Yeah, I mean, I get it for sure. And I appreciate the donation, brother. Thank you, man. But like I said, for people to criticize Chart Prime, like, number one, I always tell people, like, I can't guarantee you're going to make money or do anything. These are just kind of like trading buddies. Like, what these are custom indicators. Like, all Chart Prime is custom indicators. But I think for what they give you, it's pretty cheap, right? So, like, you could look at today's price action. Like, look, the real edge, in my opinion, is when multiple show up together at once, right? So I like looking for possible reversal down and bearish engulfing candles. And you can kind of see when that happens, this is on a 1-minute chart, you get drops. You know, it doesn't happen every time. And again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money with this. Nobody can. This one was wrong. But this one was right if you look at it. And you can kind of see we got to follow through bounce. And again, you got to go back and test it. Again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money. Nobody can. They are a sponsor of mine. And so I'm certainly biased in their favor. But again, just kind of tracking like what they've done. Like, look, they do great at calling the tops sometimes. Possible reversal down, you get drops. Their little VWAP line here is really powerful as well. And I think what they offer, it's still very cheap. It's like $35 a month. And again, this is the first plug I've done all day. But like you could go back and look at like yesterday's day here. Look, possible reversal down, drop. Possible reversal up, bounce. Again, when you got multiple showing up together at once here, great at calling tops and bottoms. Look at the two bullish engulfing candles and the reversal up signal. You get a huge pop over the next like what? 20 minutes or 30 minutes. This one was wrong, but this one was right. This one was right. This one literally called the bottom here, bounced. This one literally called the exact top right before the FRC drop, and then you get drops. And so again, I can't fake what I'm showing you here. $35 a month is a pretty good edge for these custom indicators, I think. But of course, I can't guarantee you're going to make money. I actually like using them on a longer term perspective here. So like using a 1 hour chart is usually kind of my favorite thing here because again, you can kind of see, let me wait for it to show up or let me add it right back. You can kind of see like a 1 hour chart allows you to get a little bit longer term trades if you want longer term trades with stuff like this. For whatever reason, I'm gonna have to reset this. Let it load. But yeah, I like using the longer term time frames because I think these are trades that you can kind of set and forget sometimes. Of course, you don't want to just forget about it completely, but again, like look at this. Again, each candlestick here represents an hour, and so drops basically half the day after the signal. Drops all day after the signal, and again, this is an all-day drop. So again, it can be powerful, and you could use it in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. I use it in futures a lot. And again, it's called Chart Prime. It's just an indicator service. It's just custom indicators. So people acting like they're a scam. Is the VWAP a scam? You know, is the moving average a scam? Of course not. Like they're just being desperate to criticize here. If you want to check them out, here's the link. Again, I'll plug them all day. But again, I'm certainly biased in their favor. They're a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. And so naturally, I'm very biased in their favor because anybody that gets paid by a company is going to be biased. But I try, in my subjective opinion, they're useful. So check them out. Here's the link. You get 40% off too. So yeah, like 35 bucks a month. But yeah, I appreciate it, Donald. Top Step is a little bit different. Top Step is just a funded account program for futures. But it's not like options contracts. So it's not like option contracts. What it actually is most pro day traders trade futures, right? And so if you look at the E-mini here, which is on the left side. So in the E-mini here, if you look at the E-mini versus the SPY, it's basically the same price action. So like, let me put a 1 minute chart up. So if you look at this versus this, it's the same thing. You get the big green action here. You get the big green action here. It's the same price action. Pull back. Or no, let me zoom in a little bit to show you. Yeah, pull back, bounce, bounce. Same price action. But you can trade this left side with no PDT rule in futures. You can day trade and short. And most pro day traders actually trade futures. But you can also trade currencies. You can trade gold, silver. You can trade the NASDAQ, the S&P 500 essentially with the E-mini or the micro NASDAQ or whatever you want to do. And again, no PDT rule. And Top Step is a funded account program. So they give you a demo and they test your skill. The big thing to understand is to have reasonable expectations for it. Just taking this challenge builds your skill. And some paper trading platforms are going to cost at least $100 a month. And so the base package on Top Step is $140 or so if you use my link. They're going to give you a $50K demo account. And they're going to give you a price target. I believe it's $3,000. And if you can hit that 3K price target without hitting the max loss, which I believe is a 2 to 3 ratio. I think the trailing max loss is 2,000 and the price target is 3,000, which is a reasonable ratio, a 2 to 3 ratio. If you can do that and pass their testing, then they'll fund you the same amount with a 90% split. And so it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's going to build you into a better trader just taking the challenge. Most traders are going to lose. And again, I am biased in their favor because, again, they pay me money. But again, if you lose, it's not the end of the world. You can reset it for 100 and you're only down like 140 bucks. But if you pass it, you still keep most of your profit. So you still keep 90% of your profit moving forward after you pass the challenge. And so it really is kind of the best of both worlds. Where if you lose, it's not the end of the world. You're down very small amounts, and you probably lose much more money if you put the money up yourself. But again, I'm biased in their favor, of course. If you want to check it out, here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. You get 20% off right now if you use the link. Yeah, I've never tried using it for options, but I'm sure you could probably get some edge in doing that as well. But again, everybody's a little bit different, But the whole point I'm trying to make is that if you're mad about how I plug things, if you're mad at me for having sponsors where I'm literally telling people, yo, I am biased, certainly, then you're just trying to be mad, You're just upset I'm making money and, whoever's criticizing is probably not, you know what I mean? What's up, Tiny? Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday. The VWAP hasn't worked this year, Miller Time says, in my opinion. Maybe, brother. I think it varies, though, dude. I think it depends on what you're looking at and how you're using it. You can always find moments where something works, right? But it really depends on what it is. I think an important factor to play into like whether the VWAP works is what's coming up. Like if there's big economic data being released, a lot of the time the VWAP's not going to work because the market's going to be choppy. It's just going to go up and down, sideways, neutral, just choppy. But like if it's post big releases of some sort, like if it's after big economic releases, or if it's after CPI, or if it's after big earnings, a lot of the time that's when the trends will hold a little bit better. And understanding that nuance of it will allow you to be a little bit more accurate when you're using the volume weighted average price, because it's not always going to work. And leading into big data, traders are more apprehensive to trade, and so there's more chop action. But again, it really depends on what you're trading, whether you're trading the E-mini, whether you're trading the S&P 500, whether you're trading an individual blue chip, whether you're trading a penny stock. The VWAP can and will work. It just depends on what you're looking at. Hey, thank you, Donald, for becoming a member, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, thank you, John. Hey, thank you, Rich. Yeah, it depends on how you look at it. Like again, if we look at the VWAP here, um, again, pre-market market's going to be a little bit choppy. Yesterday's a great example. So like I like using the pair of the 200 EMA and the volume weighted average price. And I think yesterday's price action can be a great gauge of like why it works sometimes, right? So like yesterday with all the stuff going on, the VWAP was powerful. Like look at the pullbacks to the 200 EMA and the volume weighted average price. Like every time it happened, the market held it. Look at this one too. And so this is why the VWAP can work, is because it identifies trend. It identifies trend. And so if a stock is like maintaining underneath it like this, the VWAP is basically saying, hey, we're in like a downward trend underneath the volume weighted average price. Hey, thank you, VWAP. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Will. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, dude. Appreciate the love, man. But yeah, still got some time. We got about 30 minutes before the market opens. House prices are not going to drop much, too much money seeking investment vehicles. Maybe, but again, mortgages are hard to get. So basically, houses are mostly cash, are getting done through cash. So it's just a tough market right now. It really is. Yeah, and again, just a little tip for the stream. If you criticize a sponsor of mine right after I post it and you try to make fun of a sponsor every time I post it, you're just going to get insta banned. Doesn't matter how long you've been here or anything like that. If you have questions, that's fine. But if you're just kind of talking smack about them over and over and over again, you're just going to get banned. I'm not even going to think about it. And that should be an understandable and obvious thing. FRC selling at a loss for cash flow. That's a bad sign. Yeah, FRC is at sevens right now. So they are at $7. They bounced back. They hit 550s earlier in the morning. And so they're at right under $7 right now. The SPY is an interesting one though. So like the SPY durable good orders came out and that kind of reinvigorated bullish action in the market here. It started to bounce back some. Microsoft will hit 500 today. No chance, dude. Microsoft, again, is kind of reeling from the Activision deal probably falling through. So, like, the Activision deal is probably going down. Is GDP out? Yeah, GDP doesn't come out today. It comes out tomorrow. Durable good orders came out today. Crude oil inventories come out today at 10:30, but GDP data doesn't drop until tomorrow. So tomorrow we got jobless claims, pending home sales, GDP data, Amazon earnings. Just a lot of stuff going on right now. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, so the UK blocked the deal is what went down for basically monopolizing markets is what they blocked the deal for from Microsoft. So, and again, it's interesting that Microsoft yesterday in their earnings report said that they thought the deal would probably go through. So if you look at what is it? ATVI? Yeah, Activision stock plunges as UK regulators say it will prohibit Microsoft merger. No, I'm in the US. Yeah, I don't know what Canada's doing in terms of GDP. I know this is a busy week moving forward here, guys. All right, so we've slowed down in terms of volatility pretty heavily since the open here. Yeah, y'all hit the like, guys. Can you explain? Can you break down your sponsor setup? So, number one, I'm a Top Step sponsors me. Okay. Top Step is the most legit futures funded program out there, in my opinion. They've been around for over 10 years. So it's not just like sponsoring other people. Like, it's a funded account challenge, right? So basically, they give traders that sign up with them a test of skill. They test their skill. They give them a profit target. They give them a max loss. They give them a maximum contract size. And again, it's a pretty reasonable test. It's about a 2-to-3 ratio. So it's not unreasonable as a test. And if they can pass that testing, with all of that entails it, then they fund the same traders, anywhere between 50 grand, depending on the package they choose, anywhere between 50 grand up to 150K. So basically they test traders. If the traders pass the test, then they fund them and they take a percentage of their profit because they're funding them the money. And so that's basically what it is. And again, if you guys want to learn more, I already posted the link. Link's in the description. Check it out. I've got some family in Canada. Spy back up to 407.50s here. All right, guys. So yeah, Palantir, man. It was one of those stocks that, like MVIS, that was just pumped really, really heavily, that have now basically fallen into obscurity. Again, I was never really a shareholder in it. It's not doing as bad as some of the other ones like MVIS, but it's still not doing great necessarily. It's just one of those stocks that's got a huge cult following, mostly because people are down big in it. Any stock that's gone from 45 down to sevens and sixes and fives is a lot of the time going to have a cult following of traders who are just kind of stuck long term. And so they're over there confirmation biasing it up. And that's just kind of how it goes in the stock market. It's one of the common trends you'll see over and over again with an array of different stocks. I could name probably at least 10 off the back of my head here: CEI, BBIG, AMC, GameStop, Palantir, MVIS. Um, MMAT. There's just a lot. Honestly, I could keep going. BYND, TLRY, Peloton, more. There's that. I could probably name a lot more of the stocks that kind of have these big cult followings because they're down so much over the last couple of years and they were up at big levels and then dropped. There's a lot of them, to be honest. Neo, um, Mullen, you know. Probably every EV that's not Tesla, Rivian, Polestar, there's a lot of them. Again, don't get mad at the messenger here, guys, because I'm really just the messenger here. Yeah, you're spot on with BBBY. I tried telling people, man. Again, there's no argument for fundamental long-term success of Bed Bath & Beyond. I've been asking the same question for like 3 weeks now. Haven't gotten one reasonable response. And again, I'll pose the question again, and y'all are more than welcome to give me this argument, okay? What is the long-term fundamental argument for Bed Bath & Beyond success? Please answer the question. Somebody. I'm open to listening. If it's a real argument, I'm not going to hate on it. Just genuine question. What's the real long-term argument for Bed Bath & Beyond success? Because I really don't have one. I can't think of one. It's a brick and mortar store where almost everything that's sold there is now sold online on Amazon without needing to go to the store. Prices are actually more expensive there than you can find on Amazon. It's just, there's not really much of an argument there, I don't think. All right, guys. So again, we're going to get ready to trade some futures here. All right. There we go. All right. Mike Pillow. Yeah, I said fundamental argument. Wall Street Bets liking them is technical. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying GameStop's going to be the next one. I really don't know, brother. I really don't know. What I will say is that nobody's given me a real argument for it. For Bed Bath & Beyond. No, nobody has, to be honest. And so, because I don't think there is one, in all honesty. And I think everybody kind of knows that. I don't think there actually is like a real argument there. Here, I'm muting the music for just a second, guys. Bear with me. Pulling back on the E-mini short term. All right, pulling back a little bit on the E-mini. Sorry, I'm listening to something. I'll be right back. Bouncing up a little bit. Hmm. So yeah, man. So I'm watching this video, and they say this video is one of the reasons one of the hosts got fired. I don't know uh, if it's why. But I think the reason he actually got fired is because in the interview he basically says, and again, I don't know why he got fired, but he in the interview he basically says, "Hey, you know, people are like y'all are speaking in my ear. I can't hear the conversation." Like referencing like an earpiece he might have had on during the conversation, and then he put that out there, and then people jumped on it. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Yeah, the music stopped. Sorry, I wanted to listen to that real quick, and so I muted the music real quick. I'll turn it back on. I'm not a big politics guy, so I'm gonna just avoid the, uh, tech to safety because of banks and earnings. Yeah. So again, we've been on a little bit of a rebound from the early morning drops that we've had in a lot of these stocks. Uh, who knows what we're gonna get, but been on a little bit of a pullback here. Shout out to all the donations that we got today. We did get a ton of donations, so I truly do appreciate that. Um, what was I about to do here? Oh yeah. Hey. All right, guys. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna avoid that political conversation. I'm just not into any of that stuff. I just avoid it. I'm very anti-politics in general. I think it takes up way too much time, so I just avoid it if I can. Uh, Activision pulling back pretty heavily here. He bounced back a little bit from the pullback. Hey, all good, Ricky. Thank you, bro. Congrats, man. You got a little pullback now on the SPY here. Again, kind of a choppy morning after the big drops that we got initially. Again, though, who knows what we're going to get moving forward today. Might buy up a contract of the regular E-mini here. I don't mind the pullback to like 407 on the SPY. It really ultimately depends on what the market does here, though. So we got one contract of the regular E-mini here. All right, so nice little gain here. We're gonna go ahead and cut that. Just made about 50 bucks. It looks like there, depending on the fill I got, but made something around there. Yeah, just made 50 bucks. Cool. So up about 50 on the day on that little dip buy bounce here. Again, we'll see if we get something else. No, I'm not holding any Tesla right now. I'm pretty flat on almost everything right now. Only thing I'm holding is a little bit of Disney right now. I mean, I'm holding a couple different things. I'm holding some longer term trades, but the only thing I bought short term is a little bit of Disney. Will FRC come back? I really have no idea, man. It's very neutral view. I applaud your move. We try, man. Again, I just don't like. Yeah, I don't even feel like talking about politics. It's all like, yeah, it's just boring. And all right, market started to bounce back though, so we caught a little pop. Still getting another pop back up here. So again, we bought the dip. We called almost the bottom of that move here. We're starting to bounce back up. Get a little bit too close to the highs and extended on the upside for me over a very small period of time. So I think I'm just going to wait. Huge little pop in the market here. Again, I could buy the dip now, but I think I need to wait for a pullback here. We still got about 15 minutes before the market opens. Nice little bounce of that Bitcoin testing 30,000 here. We'll see what FRC does today. But FRC still at sevens here. We'll see if it bounces back now. Hey, what's up, Sim? So these are all 1 minute charts, not necessarily scalping. I mean, I don't really have a plan for you guys. You, unlike most, realize there is proper things to discuss publicly and some things that should be avoided nearly altogether. Shame more can't get that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I just dislike the whole realm of it. It's too much emotion. Yeah, finally getting a little pullback here. And again, we'll see if we get another bounce back up. All right, guys. Market bounce back after we could have bought that little dip. I was really thinking about it. We got 12 minutes here. What's the key level for FRC? I really have no idea. $7 is interesting. The low of the day is 550, so I think we break under 555, which is the low. I think that could spell some problems, but again, I really don't know. We'll see. Again, SPY's starting to move back up at 4750s here. We zoom out some. We've been in this upward trend for really back since early this morning, before 7 a.m. Before it's so this is actually before 8 a.m. market time. So we've been in this trend since the last hour and 20 minutes or so. You can kind of see the trend here on this is a 1 minute chart, but a 5 minute chart will probably make it a little bit clearer of a trend since this. So yeah, we've essentially been in this right now. Maybe starting to break back underneath it, but so far that's kind of the trend we're in. We might be able to fix the range a little bit and do this to make it a little bit more obvious, but that's the trend I'm seeing right now. Again, I don't know if we're going to hold in this or not, but we're towards the bottom of it now, and this is a 5 minute chart. Yeah, I don't know enough about ENPH to really buy it up. I just don't know enough about it. All right, bottom in the range. FRC back over sevens. Still the bottom range here, team. Big pullback here right before the or a couple minutes before the open. Big large pullback here. I bought up a little bit here, but we're not going to hold it. I don't know what the catalyst is, but that's a big drop short term. We'll probably end up cutting it pretty fast. If we break the low of this candle, we'll definitely cut it. But I want to give it time. There's a big drop here. CNBC's Faber sources continue to suggest White House and Treasury are unwilling. Hold on, guys. I'm probably about to cut this. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut it. So we just lost about $100. Bought the dip, but this is what's going on right now. All right, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised First Republic's not moving more than this. But yeah, CNBC's favor says sources continue to suggest that the White House and Treasury are unwilling to step up pressure on banks to purchase FRC assets to repair the balance sheet. That's essentially what they're saying. I would. Um, yeah. So again, that's kind of what's going on. Basically, they're not confident that another company's going to step in to save FRC. And so basically, they're thinking that they might just let it fail. Ah, man, dude, I would have made money on that pullback too. Look at that bounce. But we'll put the numbers up here. See if we can catch it again. So we're down a little bit on the day. We were up before that trade, and so we're down a little bit now. Trying to get used to trading the regular E-mini. And so we just sold a little bit more, made a little bit of the money back, but still down on the day, of course. We are down $70. That could be worse. That's not too bad. Yeah. Here, baby. The opening bell's in 5 minutes. All right, guys. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. All right, we went ahead and bought one more contract here. Again, slightly down here, but the question here is, do they let FRC fail? And I don't know. All right, guys, 2 minutes. Yeah, too much risk here. I'm gonna cut it and just wait. We're down like $100 or something, or 100 and something, and we'll wait. Too much risk now. I got 2 phones. All right, where's Kevin Gates at? We got a minute left, guys. A minute left. All right, I do like this down wick here. Part of me wants to buy it, but I got less than a minute here. Yeah, what, dude? Oh, my daughter talked about that. I have no idea what that is, dude. Like I said, y'all hit the like button. I'm desperate for likes over here. I might start dancing over here. Y'all don't want that either. All right, guys. Let's see if the market bounces. We got 30 seconds here. Look, y'all give me 3 likes. I'll turn into a TikTok kid really quickly here. 30-year-old man. 30-something-year-old man, but hey. All right, guys. 8 minutes or 8 seconds. 5 seconds. Flush is happening at the opening bell. There's the open. Getting a little bit of a rebound back up here. Should have stayed in my long trades, honestly. If we could hold over the 200 EMA on the SPY, that's even better news. Yeah, FRC sitting at $7. All right, we're going to let the market play out a little bit. You look at FRC drop down to under 7s at the opening bell for a split second. Popped right back up, but you can kind of see it dipping down over here. Again, we'll give it some time. Yeah, sorry, Carol was helping Bruce go to the vet, and so she had to. She needed me to pick him up. Bro, Bruce is thick. Bruce. That's a big dog, man. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla dumping all the way down even more here. Y'all be careful on Tesla. Down to 159.20s right now on Tesla. 159.20s. Looking weak. Dragging the market down some. I'm going to short the market right here just because I see some breakdowns happening. All right, we just covered it. I think we made about 50 just now on that little scalp. Yeah, there we go. Less than 100 down on the day now. I'm going to short some more. FRC is looking weak. All right, we just cut it again. Just made another 30 or 40 bucks. I'm going to short it again. Maybe I'm picking up pennies in front of a train track, taking these trades, though. I see FRC starting to flush, though. That's the only good thing about the trade, but... pretty flat on the trade currently. I don't like that. I'm going to get out. It's just taking too long right there. So we got out pretty. We lost a little bit, but not a lot. Again, it's taking a little bit too long. FRC cracked the lows of the open, but Tesla's starting to rebound a little bit. ENPH just cracked lows again at 175 right now. All right, so we're going to take another short here as FRC broke lows again. See if we can crack lows in the market here. Yeah, Tesla's starting to bounce back. Give it one more second, and then I'm going to cut this. Again, we're starting to hit our max loss on the day. So I'm going to pivot to the micro E-mini so I don't give up too much gains here. And then if we have a string of good trades there, then we'll take a little bit more. But yesterday we made 340 or 380 or something like that. So like yesterday we had a great day regardless. But just to be safe, I think we got to kind of play it smart here. Not do too much craziness, if that makes sense. ENPH breaking down. Activision starting to slump. FRC cracking lows again. Sometimes it depends on if you locate it or not, in all honesty, whether you got to pay for shorts. If you have to locate it, if it's what's called HTB, which is hard to borrow. But this is the futures market, so I'm not shorting FRC here. Our market's bouncing back up a little bit. We're going to give it some time here. But again, FRC is what's really looking weak right now. Little pop back in markets here. FRC continues to crack down, though. FRC down to 650s here. 550s is like the really weak level of the day here, where like we break under 550s, FRC could be in trouble. So we'll try to short a little bit on this bounce here. Maybe take 3 or 4 contracts there, see what we get. Look at FRC down to 650s. Is it halted? Yeah, FRC is actually halted, guys. Wow. Halted all the way down for FRC here. So it was halted at, I just noticed too, it was halted at 35. So we still got about 3 minutes before it resumes here. That's bad news. Where will it resume? Is it a T1? What kind of halt is this? It's got to be a... It's got to be a volatility trading pause, no? Schwab flying up. Hey, congrats to all the Schwab holders. Very choppy neutral market, though, since the opening bell. We got some drops from the FRC stuff, but market's very flat aside from that at this point in time in the day. SPY is such a tight range here, man. Wow. Again, y'all be careful. Just such a choppy neutral day. Yeah, Julie, if it's laggy, dude, it's on your end, not mine, man. Again, so FRC should resume in about 2 minutes, about a minute, actually, 1 minute left until FRC resumes. Whole market is completely flat, though. Really interesting market, in all honesty. So I made a little bit on the day just now. I am down less than $100 now, believe it or not. So we are now down $88 on the day. I don't know what to do here, though. I'm waiting for FRC to resume. I think the whole market is kind of waiting for this to resume now. 5 minutes halts are usually what happens. Again, I mean, I can look at my stream and see. Like right now, we're not lagging at all. So again, it's probably just on both of y'all's ends. We have an excellent connection currently. And so, yeah, the stream's not lagging at all. Again, if it's lagging, it's probably on your end, on both of you guys. So you might want to just kind of refresh your stream, maybe, see if that works. All right, here goes FRC's possible resumption. If it's a 5-minute halt, it should resume sometime like right around now. It could be a 10-minute halt. Let me look up the halt code for this. Be a T1 news pending halt. Let me see. FRC is halted for a volatility trading pause. Is what this is. It's a volatility trading pause. It's designated M, which is a volatility trading pause. All right, it's back up. It's bouncing back up a little bit. FRC is back up, so it was a 5-minute halt. It's now back up. We're going to go ahead and start taking profit on the trade that we're in right now. Make it a little bit more. Go ahead and cut that. All right, guys, so we have effectively rebounded pretty nicely on the day after a somewhat losing day here. We are only down about $50 right now, so pretty close to flat here. FRC bounced back and now resumed here. Halted again. So it probably will resume in another 5 minutes at about 9:46 in the morning. Part of me wants to buy up the SPY here. I'm going to go ahead and buy this. Because if it got halted on the way up, that could be a good sign. And so we'll add to this position here, take something. And maybe not the right move, but luckily, again, we're scaling down our size. I'm going to go ahead and cut that. SPY bouncing all the way back up to the volume weighted average price. And again, I'm guessing like maybe FRC getting halted is influencing people to look at a more optimistic side of trading. All right, SPY breaking down now. I don't know. Look at the weakness coming through here. I'm going to short this, see if it cracks under this low. I'm not a big low of the day guy, but I think sometimes if the momentum's there, you could take them, but you certainly don't want to take every one. Chopping around my break-even level here. I just want to see if a larger flush starts to come through. It's taking a little bit too long for me, though. If it hasn't started yet, it might not happen. Taking too long. I'm going to cut it. Yeah, taking a little bit too long there. Again, FRC should resume in the next 3 minutes or so. It might break down here, but it's just taking a little bit too long for me and my taste. Maybe it continues flushing down. I don't know. All right, so we did break lows. Choppiness so far after as we test these low levels here. FRC should resume in about a minute or so. 1 minute. Very difficult day to trade, though, guys. Y'all just be careful. Tesla cracking under lows here. FRC should resume, guys, in about a minute or two. Again, really choppy, neutral day. Very difficult to make money here. There's not a lot going on. We got FRC breaking down, but again, here's the 5 minute time frame for FRC. It resumed higher again. It's at 690s now, 680s. Getting some weakness rolling through in the markets right now. FRC looks like it wants to crack lows. Tesla cracking lows too. Again, I think the real question is, does FRC crack lows? If FRC cracks lows, it's generally going to be a bad sign for market activity. But the market's pretty choppy today as a whole. We kind of gone back and forth a good amount today. And again, I just don't know if I trust any direction yet. Yeah, you can see FRC bouncing. There goes the market bouncing back. So it's just one of those days where, there's no real edge or trend showing up right now. We're just kind of going up and down, up and down. It's just kind of stealing traders' money today if you trade it, unless you kind of short at the top and cover at the bottom, which is not easy to do. So yeah, just hang out, guys. Be careful. Don't force stuff. End phase is still looking weak. Microsoft is down some, but kind of a neutral day at the open for it too. It's down a little bit. Still gapping up big. Still hugely green in extended hours. SPY testing over VWAP now. Again, kind of a neutral range here. Market's following FRC a lot, it looks like. There's Tesla crack lows. Market back up to test the VWAP again. Meta pumping? Is it really? So Meta has earnings today. Yeah, Meta's back up over VWAP, over 200 EMA, over volume weighted average price, over 212, over previous high of the day, testing the pre-market high as well. Now, we'll cover those earnings later on today. Yeah, just getting a lot of choppy action right now. Tesla breaking down, so that doesn't look bad. Meta ripping up though. Um, Meta looking very strong, honestly. Meta flying up today. Put a 1 minute chart up. We've got a 5 minute most up on the day. And maybe we got a little cup and handle forming, but again, it's such a choppy market right now. Yeah, Tesla's one of those stocks that are super polarized. For whatever reason, some people just hate Tesla. I think it's politics related, but I never let politics influence me that much to where I like hate a company and just want to see it fail. Now I might not like buying a company, but you know. Meta is kind of dragging the market up right now, guys. Meta's flying up right now. If you look at Meta here down the bottom right, Meta, huge gains here today. And again, we will be streaming this earnings call. There goes FRC crack lows here, guys. FRC breaking lows. Down to 630s right now. Wow. FRC just broke lows down to 630s. Got halted on the downside as it happened here. Huge drops. This is why I told you guys the market's following this for sure. Got halted on the downside now for this. So it'll resume in about 5 minutes. But again, FRC has effectively gotten halted on the downside and resumes. It should resume in about 5 minutes, but man, anything else drops today? No, not really. We got crude oil inventories today, but that's about it. I think the market probably doesn't know how to react, but this is how you know it's following FRC, is because FRC is just down so much of short term, and now it's back up. And now the market's back down with it. I mean, Meta's certainly influencing the market some too, but all right, so Meta or FRC got halted at 8:54, so it should resume at 9:54. So it should resume at 9:59 is when it should resume back up. If it's a 5-minute halt, it could be a 10-minute halt. It could be anything really there. Meta's starting to bounce back up a little bit too here. ENPH had bad earnings yesterday. Is what's going on with it, and just kind of had a huge drop. Bed Bath & Beyond starting to test lows. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the argument, WH. It's unnecessary to argue about it, brother. Again, I can prove the market follows FRC to a certain extent, man. Because FRC is certainly not following the market. Like, FRC is based on weakness of itself and the potential banking contagion that it could spark from its weakness. That's why, if you look at the news that came out a couple minutes ago, where House Speaker... Or no, let me see. So CNBC's Faber says sources continue to suggest that the White House and Treasury are unwilling to step up pressure on banks to purchase FRC assets to repair the balance sheet. When that was announced, the market did this. So again, I want you to understand something here. So this news came out at 8:22. Again, the news about Faber saying sources in the White House and Treasury are unwilling to step in regarding FRC. At 8:22 my time, that source came out. And then again, what happens at 8:22 market time on the S&P 500? It tanks. Okay, we could look back at yesterday at noon. FRC crashed. And what happened in between that? The market crashed right afterwards. And so the market is 1,000% following FRC's weakness in terms of sentiment regarding banks and what that means in the overall economy. And again, if you don't think that, you got your head in the sand a little bit, brother. Not really arguable. The likelihood that this drop would happen at the same time that news came out, as well as the drop yesterday at noon, the same time FRC dropped at noon, the likelihood that that's just a good old coincidence is incredibly low, probability wise. So again, we can argue about it. It's not really arguable. Gone back and forth about this a couple times. Testing lows now as FRC was halted. Yeah, and the reason the market's following FRC to a certain extent is because a lot of the market were fearing a recession in the middle of the banking crisis that happened a month or two ago. With that, most of those fears had subsided, and the market was starting to go back on a little bit of mini bull run as it pushed up to 412s, 413s. But and now that earnings came out for FRC Monday and caused it to basically drop 50% or more, yeah, the market just completely tanked. All right, so here's another news drop that just happened that coincides with the push up that we recently did. Executives at banks involved in FRC saga say latest private sector bailout is actually being pushed by the U.S. Treasury Secretary Yellen and company, who, unless pushed to the brink, don't want to be bailing out all depositors as they did. And so again, that is causing short-term bullish response in the market, as well as FRC just resumed. It's at 625s now. Can I open up a short position on FRC? I don't know if it's easy to borrow or not. My guess is no. My guess is it's not going to be ETB right now. Yeah, on TOS it's HTB, which means hard to borrow, which means you can locate it and pay for locates. But yeah. Yeah, 200% locates on FRC. Yeah, I'm not touching those. Well, I'm speaking. Chief says he's speaking from a point of speculation, not waiting. I'm speaking in terms of obvious correlation in market activity versus banking activity. Again, like I did this earlier, and I'll go ahead and do it again. Here's FRC on the left, right? Here's the S&P 500 ETF on the right. All right, so let's do this again. Yesterday at noon, bad news for FRC came out regarding it, right? So yesterday at noon, bad news for FRC came out, right? And that propelled FRC right at noon to drop huge percentages in a very short period of time, about 20 to 30%. Right immediately after that, again, right at noon, the S&P 500 tanked from 408s down to 406s. Right. I mean, again, we could say there's no correlation there, but there's obviously one. Again, same thing here. If you look at the news that came out regarding who said it, CNBC's Faber says sources continue to suggest White House and Treasury are unwilling to step up pressure on banks to purchase FRC. That dropped at 8:22 my time. If we look at when that is, 8:22 my time. Let's go back and look at it. Let me zoom out a little bit. If we look at 8:22 my time here, 8:22 my time, we look at the SPY, or we look at FRC. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Let's find it. Right around 8:22 my time, this thing drops. And so there's an obvious correlation between banking fears, FRC, and the market right now. And again, it's not really arguable. I mean, we can argue it, but I don't think there's a point in it. Yeah, sure, it's speculation. I never said it was weight. Not once did I say it was weight, Chief Reef. I get it. You might disagree. What I'm saying is they're moving with each other. That's the whole point. Yeah, FRC is obviously not heavily weighted in the S&P 500. That's an obvious thing. Of course, it's not. Again, biggest weight stocks are Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. Those are the heavily weighted stocks. Speaking of heavily weighted stocks, Meta. I don't know. I think Meta's like 20 on the list of S&P. I'll have to look. Meta drops earnings today as well, and Meta's had a really good opening session so far. Yeah, I mean, again, V, it's all good, man. But I think it's just obvious. Pet peeve of mine is oh, I was attempting to explain. I'm calm, bro. I'm calm, Chief. Again, you guys know me. I got that the debater personality type. I'm just gonna blame it on that moving forward. uh, but no, all good, dude. Right, yeah. So banking fails, and again, the reason the markets are correlated with FRC right now is because FRC affects all banks, right? FRC's weakness affects banks, in a lot of different ways, indirectly and directly with like deposit increases. Um, and so what happens is like FRC will affect banking, which will in turn affect the S&P 500, and that's why they're correlated. So while FRC is not the most heavily weighted stock in the S&P, I don't even know if it's in the S&P. Banks are, right? So banks are heavily weighted in the S&P, and so when the FRC influences banks negatively, that influences the S&P negatively, and that's kind of the spiral effect of this stuff. But yeah, it's all good. I'm just explaining it to explain it. Oh yeah, definitely got one of the top 3 largest egos in the world, Chief. You know me. You know, definitely top 3. Give me your top 2. Who's got the other 2? FRC starting to bounce back. It's at 640s right now. Again, we'll see if the market bounces back with it. Look at FRC back up to 645s, 650s. What do you know? Market's starting to get a green candle in there too. Conor McGregor. Hey, I agree. What do you know? A big green candle in the market coincides directly with FRC's big green candles. Hey, what's up, B? The guy that made the trading videos with the Lamborghini that was fake. I gotta see that guy. No, what it really is like it's a pet peeve of mine. It's like, look, it's kind of like saying tomatoes aren't red. You know, it's like, of course they are. Arguing against that is silly. Uh, yeah, we use a little bit of everything. I don't know what wire is, Bill. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. I'm just not finding much. The market's total crap today. It's completely sideways. If you look at the SPY, this is probably the worst opening action we've got in a while. I could wait for the market to clear up a little bit, but I don't think it's necessary. Again, if you want to check out a sponsor of mine, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Check out Top Step if you want to day trade futures in the market. Again, day trading futures is the easiest get around to the PDT rule. The Wire is a TV show. Yeah, I like The Wire TV show. I thought you meant I'm pretty sure he meant the stock itself. No, I'm not arguing with myself. I'm arguing with the multiple people prior to you, Chief, that said that there was no correlation with FRC and the S&P 500. So I'm not arguing with myself. You were just commenting on the other guy, uh, and so I'm responding to somebody. It might not be you, but I'm not just talking to myself. It's all good. But no, again, market's total crap right now. Be careful. Very slow, very sideways. Not really doing much. What's up, Tiny? But yeah, check out Top Step if you want to help support the channel, guys. I appreciate it. Look, FRC dropping and look at the market dropping. Well, what do you know? But no, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Easiest to get around to the PDT rule. Again, they test your skill, and it's kind of like, I think this is more beneficial than a lot of courses. They also do free one-on-one coaching, but what they do is they give you a demo and they test your profitability. And if you could pass the profitability test they give you with the demo, they fund you the same amount, which is between 50 to 150K in futures. And again, there's no PDT in futures. You can day trade in short. If you pass the testing, they'll fund you again with a 90% split. And so it's one of those situations where the base one's 130 something if you use my link. If you lose, it's not the end of the world. You're down less than 150 bucks. But if you pass it, moving forward, you get to keep 90% of your profit. So it's a great middle ground that teaches you how to trade. If you haven't already, here's the link. Yeah. Again, okay. Sometime we engage back and forth in these debates and these topics. A lot of the time, I'm doing it just to have fun with drama. Sometimes it's more fun to watch some drama go on or to watch a heated debate, even if there isn't one, than it is to just kind of sit here and watch stocks. The market is completely flat right now. I mean, look at the S&P 500 here. It's completely sideways. There's just not much going on. And so this is the market right now. So there's just not really any edge. Um, this is the SPY today, basically. Now we're starting to crack underneath this here. So like maybe we start to do something. But right now it's just kind of boring. I'll probably just hang it up. Uh, but yeah, y'all, good luck. Y'all be safe. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, check out Chart Prime as well. What did Chart Prime do today? Let me see what Chart Prime did at the opening bell. Let me see. I've been using them on a 5-minute basis a little bit more too, and they've been pretty effective here. Let's see what they showed up as. Yeah, so like look at a 5-minute time frame for Chart Prime, which is one of the ones that I've been using the most here. Like look at how accurate this is. Again, here's Chart Prime. Again, look at how accurate this is, right? Like again, they're a sponsor. I'm biased in their favor. They pay me money. I'm naturally biased. But like look at this reversal up signal, bounce over like an hour. Reversal down signal, literally called the top drop over like hours and hours and hours of time. Again, you can use them on a 1 minute, a 5 minute, all that good stuff. Check them out. Link is in the description for that too. But yeah, y'all be safe, guys. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, Bill. But yeah, guys, good luck. It's like the third, fourth time I've done the exit thing. But yeah, y'all be safe.